Welcome back to It's Time for Yarn, and today it's time for a blanket tour. I am so excited to show you guys the last of the blankets that I made in 2022. So you guys probably won't see this until 23 or sometime in the future, but today is December 30th, 2022 when I'm filming this, and I wanted to show you guys the last of the blankets that I made for this year so that I can start fresh in 2023. First up, this thing. I made this out of my Red Heart Derby stripes, and I was so excited to color pull with this, but then I got discouraged because I could not figure out the pattern. I couldn't get it to come out. I knew it would color pull because all of the color changes were the same exact length. The trouble was they were very long. The color changes were very long, so it did not make the pretty plaid that I was looking for here, but it did make a plaid. The only thing is the boxes are so big that you can't really see the striping. So it just kind of looks like a striped blanket instead of a plaid blanket, but I still think it's beautiful. And I did learn a valuable lesson for color pulling, that if the color changes are too long, it's not going to work. So for this one, in case you're wondering, I ended up using 24 granny clusters for each color. And I ended up having to do the first row using one color, the first color, the second color, both 24 stitches. Then the third color, I did 12 stitches and then turned around and did the other 12. And then the fourth color in 24. The fifth color ended up being 23 stitches with the 24th one on the third row, and that's what set up my diagonal to get it to actually color pull. So it took a lot of mathing, took a lot of frogging, took a lot of patience, but I did it. I figured it out, and I was super proud of myself. If you want to learn more about this blanket, I do have a dedicated video of color pull fails, actually color pull redemptions, because I figured it out. If you wanted to watch that, I'll link that down below. Next up, I have this Mile a Minute. I love following Krista with The Secret Yarnery. Her tutorial is just really great. There are other tutorials, but that's the one that I follow. But I decided to make this. Oh no! I have some ends. I forgot. Ugh. I thought I weaved in all the ends, man. Don't you hate that? Ugh. Anyway, guess this one's not quite finished. Raise your hand if you have projects that still don't have the ends weaved in. Me. That one right there is one of them. Anyway, I received a box of yarn from one of my subscribers. Her name was Alicia, and this variegated yarn here was in that box. Now, she sent these to me because they were yarns that she was attempting to color pull and she was getting frustrated with them. So she asked me, can you figure these out? And so with this particular one, I think it's called Candy Stick, something like that. And it's from I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby, and it's really great yarn. It feels nice, it's beautiful, but I could not get it to color pull. The color changes were way too short for me. There may be some genius out there that can figure it out, but this one can't do it. So I decided to use it to instead make a scrappy Mile a Minute, and I just love how this turned out. I connected it with this gray from Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. The big giant ones, the big rolls, they're like $11.99. I got it on sale, and I thought it would be nice to join these bright colors in that neutral gray. And I really love how this turned out. So some of these stripes have more than one color because I ran out. I ran out of the green. I was using up pieces that I had, and I love how it came out. It's whimsical, fun. I just think it's cute. This next blanket was also made with yarn sent by Alicia. She sent this pink ombre and this purple ombre, and it did not color pull because the color changes were too subtle. It didn't have a distinct color change. So I could not get these to color pull either, but I wanted to practice this shell in the round. I saw this pattern from my friend Shannon at Shannon Talks Yarn, and it just was so beautiful. She did it with an ombre yarn. And I'm like, I have to try that. It looks so great. And what's really awesome about this blanket is that it drapes so nicely. It's so soft and light, and it just melts around your body when you put it over you. It's not stiff at all. So I really enjoyed that. Now these colors, this particular yarn, I probably wouldn't have picked it up for myself. This is yarn from Michaels, their Crafter's Secret. No, Craft Smart. This is the Craft Smart from Michaels. And I love how it came out in this shell pattern. This purple ombre is, I believe it was Karen yarn, Simply Soft. And I don't usually work with that yarn, but I thought it went nicely with this. There wasn't very much of it, so I didn't really know a project I can make with the little bit that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to add it to the border of this pink. I love pink and purple together. and I think it turned out lovely. I love it. I love it. I want to make this blanket again just because I like the drape of it. I don't usually use 4 weight yarns like these. I usually do chunky yarns. So to have one that I've made that I actually am like, wow, I really love the way that feels is new for me. So I'm excited to find some more patterns that have a good drape like this. So if you know of a pattern that you enjoy the drape in a 4-weight yarn, let me know. Next, I have this beautiful purple plaid checkered blanket. This video is sponsored by Alicia because she also sent this yarn. This was 4 skeins of the Bernat pooling yarn. Looks like this. They have it in other colors as well. They have like a blue and black, or excuse me, a blue and green, a green and black, a red and black. But she sent this dark purple, light purple. And she sent it because she knew that it was supposed to pool, but she just could not get it to work, and it was irritating her. So she sent me a nice note. She's like, Erica, I want this yarn to be made into a color pooling blanket like it's supposed to be, but I just can't figure it out. Please figure this out for me. So I did. It did take me a minute. I actually started this immediately. I opened the package, immediately started working on it. And it was frustrating me. I couldn't get it figured out. I was so annoyed. I was thinking, no, this yarn, like she's counting on me to make it do what it's supposed to do, and I can't figure it out. I was getting so irritated with myself. So I put it away, put it in timeout. You know what? Put it in timeout. But then once I got this one figured out as well, I said, you know what? I'm going back to that purple yarn. It's your next purple yarn. So I pulled it back out, and I realized that the colors, the light purple and the dark purple, are different lengths by 1 stitch, and that's what was messing me up. So when I finally, I think it was, one of them is 11 and the other one is 12, I don't remember. I do have a video about color pulling redemption where I talk about that black blanket and this blanket if you want to watch that and catch up. This is 4 of these. It made exactly 4, used up exactly 4. I only had this much left, so I wanted yarn chicken. Yay me. Now I do have on the other end some of the chain, the beginning chain, that I've just untied that and take it out. But this blanket is so soft. It is so cozy. I actually am tempted to go back and get more of a different color and make another one because I think, Alicia, if you're watching, I think I'm going to send this back to you so that you can enjoy your yarn. The last blanket I have here with me is this one that I made out of this yarn, Cover Story, from Lion Brand. This was sent to me by my Secret Santa. Her name is Leah from Leah Crochets. I will link her channel down below. We actually did a whole collaboration. There were 5 different channels that got together to do a Secret Santa. I'll leave those channels down below if you want to check those out. But I was so excited with how this came out. Now, this advertises that you can make an Afghan with just 1 cake, right? But the pattern they give you is a knit pattern. We all know that knit uses about 30% less yardage than crochet does, but I'm a crocheter, so I thought that I would have enough to make 2 blankets out of it, 2 small like child's house blankets. But as I was going, I was like, you know, bigger is always better. Bigger is better when it comes to blankets. You can cuddle up, and you know, a kid, they grow up and they get bigger, so they need a bigger blanket than that. So I ended up using 1 ball for the whole blanket. This is the moss stitch in the round. Oh, that was also the moss stitch as well. This is the moss stitch in the round, and I followed a tutorial by TL Yarn Crafts for that. I'll leave that link down below for you guys to check out. Now, I'll be honest that when I got to the end of my rows and I've had to turn around, like that part was kind of messing me up, and I don't know, I might have messed up a few times, but you can't tell. It looks fine. Looks good to me. Looks perfect to me. So I love it. Now, my border is the velvet yarn from just from Dollar Tree. It's Premier. They're a soft, fluffy yarn, but it is a smaller weight than the body of the blanket, so it kind of like puckers a little bit, and you know, it's okay. You know, I mean, it'll be fine, you know, it's fine. I'm not going to fret. I'm not going to suffer from perfectionism and beat myself up about it. It's beautiful, and whoever receives this will love it. And that's all there is to it, okay? That's all there is to it. Those are the things I tell myself to keep me from obsessing. So anyway, if you've ever been there, let me know. You can see here, though, it kind of puckers up a little, but I think it's beautiful. I love the purple with the rest of this. I just love it. So Leah, thank you again for sending me this yarn. It was perfect for me, and I just really appreciate it. Last is a bonus blanket. It is currently wrapped up, ready to give as a Christmas gift. So I'll insert a picture. Hopefully inserted. And this blanket was made with yarn that I got on clearance at Michael's over the summer. It was $3 a ball, and they had big giant balls, and so I used 6 of them. So the total cost of that blanket was only $18, and for a big chunky blanket, that is a steal. So this blanket was so much fun to make. The yarn just glided through my hook, like it just was so much fun to put together. The hook that I used was the end, my favorite end hook, and I used the front post back post stitch. I don't know if it has an official name. I don't know if it's like a basket weave. I don't know, but it's just where you do double crochets, front post, back post, front post, and then on the next row it's the opposites, front post, back post, and it makes a beautiful textured blanket. That's one of my go-to patterns for when I'm not really sure what to do with a yarn. Usually any yarn looks really good in that pattern, and it's really easy. It's really it flows, it goes by quickly. It can be somewhat of a yarn eater because of the nature of the front post and back post taking up more space, but I usually don't mind. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but listen to this. The viola is snoring. So when I film, you never know if there's an animal behind me snoozing on the bed. So thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed all of these blankets, and I hope you give some of them a try. If you do, let me know down below and tell me how you did. Thanks for coming by, and remember, it's always time for yarn.